So, yes, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. So glad you could join us today. Um, I'm just here today talking about the leadership summit that's coming up here in Mobile, Alabama. I don't know where you are, but still, we're going to talk about a number of different things. But mostly, we're talking about the summit that's coming up just in a few days. And I have a guest with me that's one of the speakers, so we're going to talk about that. But also just talking about her topic in general. She's an amazing woman of God. She and her husband Derek are just lovers of the Lord, and so number one, that's what they're about. But also their business and what they do as far as how to make the donuts type thing. So we're going to talk about that part of their life, of course, but mostly about the Global Transformation Leadership Summit. So let's let's just bring her in. She's already here, and I'm trying to figure out some of the things that I need to do here. But this is Cherelle James from Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh is one of the places, I guess. Every time I talk to her, her husband Derek is one city, she's in another city. And yeah, so this is Cherelle James, and I thank God that she's going to be a part of this because she is an amazing woman. And so, Cherelle, good evening. How are you?
I am doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm really good. This is this is like you said a little bit ago. You're a businesswoman, and you got a whole nother world going on there. And now I bring you into all of this. You're one of our conference speakers, and you're one of a few of those conference speakers that's going to be in the Global Transformation Leadership Summit. But let's talk about Cherelle for a minute. Who is Cherelle James? Who is this woman of God?
That's
This
a
woman
loaded
of
question,
God.
Bishop Reggie. Well, number one, that I think that is the biggest thing is that I am a woman of God. And I think that a lot of times in life, we try to separate things out. And there was a time when I separated things out, right? I was this
Right.
person to church people. I was this person to business people. I was this person to certain types of friends, this person to community people. But understanding that I am all of that, which is great. But what surrounds all of that is that I'm a child of God. And so operating from that center first, and then just being all of whom I am. So I am a businesswoman. I am a podcast host. I am a radio show co-host of a radio show. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a aunt, the best auntie in the world. That's my number one title is the best auntie in the world.
Now, did they say that, or is that you saying that?
Oh no, they say I've got a plaque to prove it at the house. They say,
How long have you? When I heard you minister, yeah, you were a minister on your acumen, and what you do with finances. But I heard you and Derek talking, and you guys were speaking by the Spirit of God. Yeah, I mean, you sound more minister. Yeah, what you said was like great about finances and all
yeah,
that because you know what you're talking about. But it's the anointing, isn't it? It's God, isn't it?
it is. It is the wisdom, right? You can have education, which we have, and but there's a wisdom that God brings, and I think that what you heard was that wisdom of God.
What? How long have you been serving the Lord? What?
Oh my gosh, Bishop Richie, I'm about to blow you away. When I was 4 years old, I was diagnosed with a Wilms tumor, which is a cancer of the kidneys. And of course, I did chemo and radiation, and all of my hair fell out, right? So then you got this 4 year old girl that's bald head. And my mom and my grandmother were sitting there one day discussing should they get me a wig or not get me a wig. And I said to them at 4 years old, don't give me a wig. God took my hair, he'll give it back.
Now you were four.
I was 4 years old, and I've just always, I've just always had a relationship with God. Always, always, always had one. And of course you make it official when you get older, right? But I've always walked with him, always had a relationship with him from even a small child.
Wow. That kind of, yeah, that kind of says it for me. I remember that too. That happened. I got burned at when I was 13 though. But that's amazing. So do you minister all the time as far because you and Derek do a marriage thing, right? What's that about?
We have a podcast that's called More Than, and in quotations, I Do, because we're married, but we're in business. So 7 years after we got married, we decided to go into business together. And today is our 19th anniversary.
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
exciting. And when I look back 19 years, we must have been having some kind of fun, right? To make it 19 years. But
Not necessarily.
well, I tell everybody anything that's great, you had some rough times, right? And you learn how to make it through. And what we call those, me and Derek, are growing pains. It's just growing together, those pains that happen when you're growing together for those 19 years. And so,
But what about you and Derek though? You guys know how to talk it out, so to
yeah.
speak. That cognitive thing, right? I mean, when you have the cognitive and you have, the spirit of God,
Mm.
that's like, that's yeah, you put those two together and then you got the love thing going there, but love don't always get you all the way there,
No, no.
right?
Love is fleeting, right? At certain point.
Right,
Uh,
right. And
uh-huh.
so, what is that the key with you guys?
I
What I
think
just
God
said?
God is the third one in our marriage, right? So it's a three-strand cord for us. God is definitely the glue, is what we call him. He is the glue that keeps our marriage together during those times when love is fleeting, and it's like I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to look at you. It is definitely God, us going and praying together, us praying individually. Everything is not always together. Sometimes I need to go in my corner, he needs to go in his corner, and we need to get ourselves right before we come together. But one of the things that we have always said is we may say, okay, I see you're a little upset. I'll talk to you. Let's talk about this later.
Now that's good. Now that's paramount there. That's
But now, Bishop Richie, that doesn't
yeah.
mean that you could never talk about it. And I think that sometimes we
No, no, no. You're not just not ready to do that.
right.
Just tell me you're not ready. Don't tell
That's
me
right.
you don't have nothing going on there.
That's right. That's
Right?
right. It has made the difference. It has made the difference of allowing maybe me to process or him to process and then to be able to come to a conversation versus in the heat of things trying to have that conversation and forcing it. And I think that that's where the wisdom of God come in. I pray a lot. One of my best prayers, whether it's in marriage, whether it's in business, whether it's just in relationships, period, is God, you feel the atmosphere and you make it when the time is right, because God knows the timing of when my heart is right and when your heart is right. And so I asked for him to create that timing and atmosphere versus me trying to force it or because I want to talk about it right now, type thing.
And then both of you guys are not exactly pushovers, you know.
Yeah,
So that alone, you're like me and my wife. That alone causes for an opportunity to either shoot each other or pray or just leave, right?
yeah, yeah.
So if you can have a great marriage with people like us, you got a good marriage. I mean, you
Listen,
right?
I tell people all the time, whenever you think about me and Derek, just pray for Derek. Because he's got to deal with me.
No, Derek's probably saying the same thing too. Yeah, pray for Cherelle because yeah, that's amazing. Let's talk about finance because
Yeah,
that's your area. How did you get into finance? How did you?
let
And
me
then Derek is in finance as well, or you adopted him in
No,
finance,
no,
or
the
other way
other
around?
way around. He adopted me into finance. So my background is more operational, right? His background is technical. So taking those two, the operational side of things and the technical side of things, is how we created the business, if that makes sense. But when I love numbers for the sake of what they can do, the empowerment of numbers. And when I understood the empowerment of numbers, it drew me closer to them because I'm all about impact. How can we make impact to our lives, to our families, to our communities, to the world? And when you talk about finance, that's a big place of impact, right? People are not listening to anyone who's just on the corner broke. It's just, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just not happening. They can have the most wisdom and have the answers, and no one's going to listen to them, or very few, because someone will listen, but very few will listen because they don't look like they have it. And
Right.
it's sad. It's very sad. But when I understood that, and I understood that it unlocked the key for resources and impact, that's what drew me to finance. Now, Derek is, you could see the numbers go across his head, put me in a cubby, feed me numbers, let me go all day long, and leave me alone. Don't talk to me, just let me do the numbers. And so we kind of balance, like in marriage, we balance each other out in the business, in those two things. I'm a little bit more extrovert, he's a little bit more introvert. And then we bring those two skills of operational and technical together to kind of create a full holistic balance for a business.
So tell us what you do in your two companies that you own, because they're both different, but they're both money things.
They are, and it's one company because one owns the other. And so my local CFO is where we started a little over 12 years ago. September will be 13 years. And it's a financial management company. So we do outsourced chief financial officer services for small businesses. And the way I say that is it's the crossroad of where operations and finance kind of comes together. And if you think about a big company, they have a CEO and a CFO. We become the CFO for smaller companies, right? Because usually they're doing everything else. And then we acquired last year my local accounting, which is DBA Sandhills Accounting is the company that we acquired. And that's an accounting firm. So they already did bookkeeping, payroll, taxes. And so now we've become a full service firm where we can be outsourced to do everything as a financial department for a company, or little bits and pieces.
Now, you guys were actually, maybe it's because I'm not in the industry, but you're the first CFO company that I ever heard of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, a small business don't even think about having a CFO. I mean, you have an accountant or, someone clerk that
Yeah.
do the debit credits to take it to a CPA,
Yeah.
and then he kind of check you or something and do your, your editing, or how do you say it, your reconciliation or something.
Reconciliation.
Yeah, yeah. But to have a CFO, that's the finance department and the head of the finance department. And that person, you don't do anything to deal with money unless you run it by that person. Is actually more powerful than anyone in the company, really, if you want to. So how does a person like that have a small business person? A small business is not a mom and pop. I mean,
No.
right?
Right.
Just because it's small business, that doesn't mean it's like, just fledging or trying to get something done. We'll preach for food or something.
Right.
No, these are major people.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. No, and I always say it's categorized as small business, but in my world, it's all business, right? Because business is before the small. It just means that it's not a corporation. It's not a huge company that may be global or something like that. But when you look at, so to your point, when we started this company in 2011, there weren't many of us out there that were in this field of CFO. And it was like, I think they were just learning to outsource HR at that point, around that time. So we were definitely not even being thought of. And even now, you say that this is the first time that you heard about a company like this. We're still, fairly small. There's a couple of us out there. I think about 3 or 4 years into the game, so 2014, 2015, people start taking me to lunch to try to start their own CFO firm. The difference is you get CPAs and accountants that in their off time, they want to have the revenue streams still coming. So they say, well, we'll do CFO services. Where we're CFO financial management first, which means strategy, looking forward. I always say people have a bookkeeper and people get their taxes done. Those are all compliance things, right? But who's walking with you on a day-to-day basis, helping to make decisions and understanding what's really happening financially? Because when you understand what's happening financially, you understand and can make better decisions in your company. And then forecast forward, right? So not just looking at today, but where do you want to go and how are we going to get there? And so,
I like, and you use the term compliance things. I never even heard that or associated that with doing your
yeah,
taxes, making sure fill out all the dot I's and yeah, because do you know the stats of like the United States? I mean, we were probably the top people for doing our taxes and making sure we do everything Uncle Sam wants us, the IRS, right?
yeah,
We're pretty high up there if we're not number one, right? As far
yeah.
as
I don't know the stats on it. I never even thought about that. Now I gotta go look it up. I
right, Derek probably knows. He probably he probably
gotta
can rattle it off. But I just that's a big deal, to make sure you. I don't know who Terry Taylor, but great information. Yeah, I know this woman, Terry. This woman is amazing. She's like Cherelle is like Derek and Cherelle, but she kind of throws it out there in a way that you say, "Wow, that's amazing."
Mhm.
And Derek doesn't put it out there like that, and Cherelle is like take what Derek says and put it out there where everybody's like, "Whoa, that is amazing," and she's really just saying what Derek told her to say. But
A lot of times, yes. A lot of times, yes.
uh, okay, Jamila, Clarissa, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Pastor Pamela says hello
Hello.
and good evening. If you guys have any questions, you can. But let's get to the summit.
Yes.
Um, let's talk about, without really stealing your thunder, but that's on April the 27th here in Mobile, Alabama. 8075 Tanner Williams Road here in Mobile, Alabama. And what you will the Lord gave me this 9 years ago, Cherelle, and it started out as me bringing pastors in. We have pastors in Nigeria and Cuba and in the United States. And over the years, sometimes it's hard to get visas for the pastors to come in. Sometimes pastors doing other things or whatever, but it's kind of evolved into just opening it up to leadership for anyone that want to come. And so it's just been like last time. It was the first time that I actually did. The lion's share of the teaching because I always had people like yourself that will come in and do the teaching. So last year was just a little different for me. Again, to this time is different as well because it just has just a different flavor. One of which of that flavor is who you're speaking with right now. But the main thing is that you experience the love of God.
Mhm.
And then you also have personal ministry because the people that are there are people that I know these people. I have a relationship with them. With the people that are in the audience, I have relationships with them. They're leaders or whatever. So there's always that opportunity for the personal ministry as well as prophetic ministry as well. And so, but what do you think as they register those that are running to register? This last minute register. What does Cherelle bring to the table? What would you like to see people go away with? Again, without stealing your thunder, because they
Sure.
need to be there to really hear what you have. What do you say?
I think it's to really, really, I know that there's people coming to this summit that want more in life. They want more in life and they know that there's more for them. And I think coming to the summit, definitely hearing me, well, let me just say, coming to the summit period is going to be life changing. Let me just say that, period, life changing. And that's not me by myself, just the whole thing. I already know it's going to be life changing. And so if you're on the fence 50-50, I don't know, I'm not sure, just come, period. The second thing is, I think my area and where I talk, I want people to walk away knowing that it's possible. Period. It's possible. It doesn't matter where you are enough right where you are, and I say that all the time. You are enough right where you are. But if you want to be somewhere different, there's a way to get there. There's a way to get to whatever it is. Even if you don't know yet, you just have that feeling, but you're not quite sure where it is, the steps to get there, the steps to understand, the steps to take charge, right? And not just be in the caboose of your life as a train, but be the conductor in that way. And I think that those are some of the things that people are going to take away inside the summit as I speak.
Are you going to give us some action steps?
Oh my gosh, yes, yes.
So
You,
we'll be able to say, if I do this, this is going to happen, but I got to do this.
but I gotta do this. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that if you do it tomorrow that it's going to happen tomorrow, right? But yes, I think that if we speak, especially a summit like this, speaking but not giving you action steps, it just leaves you with good information. We want you to put it into action. Remember, I told you I'm in finance and I do what I do because of impact. We want your life to be impacted. We want you to move further. Whatever God has for you, we want you to move towards that direction.
Cherelle is the first person in my whole life that I heard speak, and she was speaking my notes, but she was doing it better than me because she had behind her the financial training. And I was like in awe because of that, because I've always been that accounting this person, kind of hang out. I my background is business. My collegiate training is business because I thought that's what I wanted to do, and then I got into law. I thought that's what I wanted to do, but all that was I was running from the Lord to be who I am now. So I got it's like I'm a generalist.
Mhm.
I know a little bit to be dangerous, and so I know enough to be dangerous, and so when I heard you speaking, you
Mhm.
and Derek and you, um, I was like, wow, this is what people need. This is what people need, because it's not rocket science,
No,
right?
no.
When you think, give me a give me a Cherelle James definition of building wealth. What does that look like when you talk about building wealth? What is that? What
It's
is building wealth?
it's simple. It's very simple. Building wealth is knowing where you want to go first, right? What are you building? And I think so often we're on a wheel just rolling, just everyday life, reacting to life. And I think building wealth is number one. Just understanding, knowing where you want to go, having a plan, and then executing the plan, and then making room for God to interject, right? And that would be it. Boom, drop the
It's the
mic.
God factor, isn't it?
That's it. That's it. You have to be open, but you won't be open or able to receive if you don't know where you're going. Because you're
Right? Right? I mean, you because that's what you said. Everybody got information,
that's it.
and there's some more Cherelle people out there that that know stuff, but they don't have the God factor and the discipline to follow Him. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This is good. This is good. I think our problem is going to be we don't have enough time. We should have a week of this. We should have a week of doing this, and I don't know about waiting a whole year to do it, but
Sounds like we
yeah.
need a retreat, a financial retreat.
Oh man, right?
Hmm.
Because it's such a large area.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such a large area. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is a. She says that this is. I remember Terry now. I know who she was. I didn't know her as Terry. No, she changed. That's her name. Yeah, I remember. I remember. You need to be there, Terry. You need to be there. You need to be there. She said it's great information. You need to be there. Yeah, yeah. What is there anything you wanted to say in closing? I think that we're good. I think that we're good, right?
No, I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to meet each and every one of you. So if you listened today or you saw the replay of this, make sure you say hi to me, when we're there at the summit. So that means you have to come to the summit to say hi, right? You got to be there so that you can say hi. So I want to send blessings to everyone. And I want to say one more time, you're okay right where you are. You are enough right where you are. But if you want something different, If you want to just elevate, if you just think that there's just more for you, then definitely come to the summit.
Yes, 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 yes. I the things that have been happening for this, it's just you can tell that God is in this. So it's just been such an amazing just the coming together and people, everybody doing their, things just falling into place. And so God is amazing what he's doing. It's just amazing what God is doing in this. Yeah. So be there, or no, I can't say that right. Be there or be square or something. I wouldn't dare say that. But, yeah. April the 27th through the 30th, Mobile, Alabama, 8075 Tanner Williams Road. But register at operationmobile.org. And Cherelle James, what's your name again?
Cherelle Keena Latice Jenkins James.
I love that. I love it when she says her whole name. And I tried to remember it. I wrote it down and everything. But all right, I love your name. That name. Yeah.
Thank you.
That name. Bless you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you when you get here.
Yes.
I pray God's peace on you, and as you guys travel, as the Jameses travel, I speak peace over you. And people, audience, I'll see you on Thursday this week. We're going to have some amazing, amazing intersections with the Lord. Thank you. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious to you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. See you again. Bye.